Folks, Santo Sessa here with RE/MAX Premier. I have your latest home prices and insights for York region, more specifically Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. I'm talking about detached prices, I'm talking about condo prices, so everything just north of Steele. So from City of Toronto, we're talking York region, just north of Steeles. Oh, by the way, subscribe below, hit the like button, hit the bell button so you're reminded when these videos come up. Now, I'm going to go through some of these slides actually a bit quickly. So if there's something there that you need a little bit more information on, just message me below. I'll be happy to send it to you. I have a lot of things to cover here. Okay, so we're going to start off with Vaughan Detached, then I'm going to talk about condos. So when we're looking at sales, now, we're heading into the winter months. We're expecting sales to come down and we're expecting average sold price to come down. Doesn't always happen and the market doesn't always pay attention to that, but this is what we're expecting. It's a seasonal trend that normally happens. So sales here from one week to the next have come down. And if you're joining us for the first time, I'm breaking the stats down on a weekly basis, but don't make any decisions on a weekly stat. Let's look at the overall trend. So the overall trend, sales have been coming down. When we look at average sold price, well, for the last 2 weeks, average sold price has gone up. So the average detached home in Vaughan last week sold for $1,515,000. That's a lot of money. But we look at the overall trend, average sold price has been going up. We came out of the lockdown here, well, the first lockdown, because now we're in another one, but average sold price has been going up. Compared to last year, hey, things are up and down depending on which way you look at. So this 1 week here right now, week ending December 13th, kind of shows that average sold price, we're 29% higher than what we were last year, which is a crazy number. Last year we sold, during this week, we sold 0 homes at $2 million or more. This year we sold 5. So for sure that has a lot to do with why the average sold price is higher. But we've had a big gap over last year for a good part of this year. So if you're putting your detached Vaughan home on the market today, you should be getting far more than what a similar home sold for last year. Similar home in your neighborhood, right? Okay. Looking at sales compared to last year, well, you can see here last year, you know, the blue is last year's price. It's been coming down as we get into the colder months. Same with this year. It jumped up here for last week, but overall it's been trending down. But year to date, we've sold 16% more detached homes this year than we did last year. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? If during our first lockdown back in March and April, if we would have said, don't worry, we're going to actually sell more detached houses this year, you wouldn't have believed it. You would never have believed it. I didn't announce it because I would never have believed it myself, but that's where we are. Year to date, we've sold 281 more detached homes so far this year than last year. Listings, we're listing more. Now, listings should be coming down, but last week we've listed more than the previous 2 weeks, and maybe that's because sellers are thinking, you know, prices are good. Why should I wait for next year? Or maybe these sellers have bought in the spring because or in the fall. We kind of had an extended summer, and normally July and August is normally a quieter period in real estate, but this July and August was really busy. So if people bought, they're looking to sell their home right now. So listings are higher. And when we look at months of inventory, we're at 2.1 months of inventory. Last week was 2, and that helps explain why prices are heading up. It's very much a seller's market. Anything below 4 months is a seller's market. Okay, so Vaughan condos. Vaughan Detached, they're going up. Vaughan condos are going the other way. So sales are coming down. No surprise there, we're expecting that. Average sold price is at $540,000. The average condo sold for $540,000 last week in Vaughan. And when we look at the overall trend, doesn't really look like it's coming down, does it? It kind of seems pretty steady. I can tell you though, average sold price for condos is coming down. What's not depicted here is which condos are actually being sold. And there's been a large number of condos that were bought pre-construction 3 and 4 years ago that are closing this year. With some of our buyer clients, I'm a full-time realtor, and with our buyer clients, we've bought some of these condos that people, the sellers they've closed with the builder, and boom, they're putting their condo on the market right away. So those condos are more expensive than the older condos. So it kind of seems like it's propping up the average sold price, but it is actually lower. Compared to last year, you know, there's certain weeks where we're 22% higher, then we're lower, we're 15% lower here. But for the last couple of weeks, we've been very much on par with last year's average sold price. So I know at condos, we hear it in the news everywhere. We're expecting just boom, it's like a roller coaster just going down, but there is no coming up. But condo prices are not rock bottom. They're not really, nobody's giving their condo away. Looking at sales, we're selling less than what we sold last year. 7.8% less condos year to date were sold this year than they were last year. Listings are coming down. Active listings are coming down. Months of inventory is going up. So we're sitting at 5.3 months of inventory. It's very much a balanced market when it comes to condos. And that helps explain why average sold price is coming down. Okay, Richmond Hill Detached. Sales went up from 26 to 36. Now 36 is more sales we've done in a week going back about a month and a half. Average sold price did come down a little bit. When we look at the overall trend, except for these last few weeks here, it kind of seems like average sold price has gone up. Lately, for the last 4 or 5 weeks, kind of seems a little bit lower than what the average was before. And so we kind of got to wait and see what happens with the trend. Does it keep coming down, or is it going to turn around and go the other way? But a few more detached homes were bought in Richmond Hill last week than before. Compared to last year, we're 5.4% higher in average sold price. The average detached home in Richmond Hill last week sold for $1,463,000. That's a lot of money. When we look at sales, so last year sales, you know, look at this. The same week, sales went higher last year. They also went higher this year. And 10 of those, a third, sold at list price or more. We are almost 9% higher as far as detached sales go in Richmond Hill than we were last year. Listings are coming down. Active listings are coming down. Months of inventory is coming down. Now this is pretty low at 1.8. So although average sold price has come down, because this is so low and sometimes there's a bit of a delay, I do expect the average sold price in Richmond Hill to go up again. Okay, condos. You see, condos are supposed to be coming down in price, but you don't necessarily see it. Sales went up from 8 to 12. Average sold price went up, where the average condo in Richmond Hill sold for almost $550,000. Still lower than we were pre-lockdown, but overall the average sold price, maybe it's coming down a little bit, but it's not like, wow, what a great deal. You got to really be careful about buying and selling when it comes to condos there. The hype is one thing, but reality sometimes is different. Compared to last year, 3.7% higher, but we've been the previous week 11% higher, 3.3% lower. It's up and down. It's pretty much on par, I think, for where we were last year, average sold price. Looking at sales, going up, but they went up last year also. So I guess there's, this time of year is really interesting. There are sellers that have put their home on the market, and the fall market is normally quite busy and strong for prices also. And then there's sellers that, because of that, price their properties real high. Doesn't matter what detached, semi-town, condo, doesn't matter. This is kind of a general rule. Every year I see sellers pricing too high, thinking that they're going to take advantage of the market. Then their property doesn't sell. We pass the fall, we get into the end of November, we get into December, and then we see those sellers kind of in their head thinking, oh, I've got to sell before the snow comes, or I got to sell before Christmas. And those sellers tend to drop their price a little bit, and then those properties get sold. We also see buyers that come the fall have missed out on multiple offers. They have been trying to buy and they've just not been successful, and they're also getting anxious that they want to buy before Christmas comes. And I know it's a crazy thing, but these are the kind of mental obstacles that people put in their own heads. And you'll see buyers tend to sometimes pay a little bit more just because they want to get in that property and they don't want to compete with somebody else. Well, this is why sales go up. Listings a little bit lower. Active listings have dropped down a bit. Months of inventory has come down. So the average condo in Richmond Hill, average sold price is going up. Months of inventory has come down. Markham, detached prices. Well, sales have come down to 23. The average detached home in Markham sold for $1,434,000, and it looks like average sold price for detached has been going up since we came out of the pandemic. Not quite where we were pre-lockdown, our first lockdown, not the second one we're in now, but we're getting there compared to last year. So for this 1 week here, we're 2% higher. We're really, really close there, but the previous weeks we've been 26% higher, 16% higher. You see how you have 1 week here where we're almost 7% lower. This is why I'm saying look at the trend. Don't base any decisions on week by week. And this is more to give you an overall feel of what's going on in the market. If you are looking to make a decision of buying or selling, you really should be contacting a professional realtor to help you deal with the micro market in your neighborhood and really give you the proper data for what's going on in your neighborhood, in your condo building, the few streets around you. Looking at sales, they're coming down. Last year they were also active listings, 216 active listings. Listings really have stayed the same week after week, and months of inventory is going up. We're at 2.2 months of inventory, which helps to explain the average sold price coming down. The higher months of inventory means the more choices that are out there, and there's less competition and takes a little bit longer to sell your property. Markham Condos, average sold price went up. I almost feel like saying sorry about that because I know everybody's expecting condos to go one way, but the average sold price went up. Sales went up from 10 to 15. We're 14% higher for this 1 week than what we were last year's average sold price. So last year we're at $511,000, the average condo. This year for this week ending December 13th, we're at almost $86,000. The previous week we were lower by 5, then we were higher by 6, then we were lower by 16%, then higher by 29%, up and down, up and down. It's pretty even actually overall. Compared to when we look at sales, from 18 we should be coming down, but sales are going the other way. Overall, year to date, we're almost 13% lower in condo sales in Markham than we were last year. Listings, a little bit higher than last year's, but active listings is dropping. So sales are going up, active listings is coming down, months of inventory is coming down, which helps explain why average sold price is going up. Folks, that's my report. There's a lot of things happening at this time of the year. This is by far not a normal seasonal market. There's so many things going on. Make sure you're working with a good realtor. My name is Santo Sessa with 3 Max Premier. Be safe. Talk to you in a week.